Do Etsy ads actually work, and should you be trying them to bring more sales and more traffic to your Etsy shop? In this video, I'm going to explain to you how the Etsy ad system actually works and whether or not you should be using them as an Etsy seller and what some of your alternatives are that don't actually cost you extra money to get more traffic to your Etsy shop. So I want to make a really quick distinction. What we're talking about today in this video are paid ads that are placed on Etsy in the Etsy search results and not Etsy offsite ads. So Etsy offsite ads are a different type of ad format where Etsy advertises on your behalf with your products on search engines like Google and Bing and Pinterest, and you only pay if someone clicks through and makes a sale within your shop from those offsite ads. That's a different structure, and it's not what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about today the Etsy ads on Etsy, the platform itself, that you can opt into. To turn on Etsy ads in your Etsy shop manager, you're going to go to the marketing tab and click on Etsy ads. From here, all you need to do is manage your budget. The minimum is $1 a day, but Etsy may also suggest things like $2, $5, or $25 a day. To select products to advertise, you're going to simply select the products that you want on the advertising page and turn the ads on for those products. From here, you'll be able to see data as your ads go on. You want to wait at least 2 weeks, but up to 30 days to really see the best data possible for how your ads are performing. And you can manage your budget at any time and change this number whenever you want to. You can also turn off Etsy ads. This is simple as well. You just go down to the very bottom and hit pause Etsy ads. So if you decide to turn on Etsy ads, you want to wait at least 2 weeks to give the algorithm time to show your ads and really make the most of placing your products at the top of that algorithm. After 2 weeks or even up to 30 days, you can check your stats in your Etsy ads page for the ROAS, or ROAS. And this stands for return on ad spend. You can see in this example that the seller is earning $2 for every $1 spent on ads. That's why it says 2.0. And this is considered a positive return on ad spend because it means for every $1 they spend on ads, they're making at least $2 in profit on average. Most sellers would say if they're seeing a 2 or higher for their ROAS number, this is a positive return and worth keeping their ads turned on after 2 weeks. Now, a ROAS of 2 is generally considered the baseline standard of good, but some sellers actually like to keep this number closer to 1. They're okay with less of a return on their ad spend because the product is new, it's helping them drive sales, so they're willing to take less of a profit on their products because more of their profit's going to ads, or they are digital product sellers, so they have a much bigger profit margin to work with, so they're okay with putting more of that profit margin to ads as a whole. So if you're a physical product seller, you're spending a lot of time hand making your product, breaking even and having a ROAS number closer to 1 is probably not ideal for you. But if you are a digital product seller, you definitely have more of a profit margin to work with because you are not having to create the product every single time it sells. Now, one thing that's really great about Etsy ads is that you get to choose how much you spend on your ad. It's all about how much you want to put into it. But something to keep in mind is that Etsy ads are a bidding system. And if you bid a lower amount and a seller with a very similar product for the same keywords is bidding a higher amount, your product might not get shown and it's not going to be shown at the very top. The person with the higher bid and the higher ad spend is going to be shown more often than you are. So if you have a low daily bid, like $1, $2 a day, and so your bid ultimately works out to, half a cent or 5 cents per click, but their bid is a lot higher and it works out to something like they're willing to spend 20 cents or 50 cents per click, then Etsy's probably going to use that higher bid that's available because Etsy wants to make money on those ads and they know that they can put that product in front of customers with that higher budget. But even though your ads are also going to be affected by your competition in what's essentially a bidding war for Etsy ads, don't worry, later in this video, I'm going to share some of the ways that you can get your product seen better without paying for ads. Now, when you set up your Etsy ads, you make sure that you set up the most amount of money that you are going to spend in a single day. There are days in your Etsy ads where Etsy really will spend that full amount, and then there are going to be days where it spends less than that amount, and it all comes down to what people are searching for, and sometimes search volume will be higher for certain products on different days. But Etsy will never spend more than that max daily budget that you set, and you are only paying when someone clicks on your ad. So if someone sees your ad campaign in Etsy search results but they don't click, you're not being charged for that. So you also need to remember that your cost per click is determined based on the price of your listing and the amount of sales that you have. You also need to remember that your cost per click is based on the price of your listing and the amount of sales that Etsy expects that product to have. So if Etsy thinks their buyers are more likely to buy an expensive product, then Etsy's going to charge you a higher cost per click. Obviously, your ad budget also depends on your inventory and how much you want to spend, but Etsy recommends a daily ad budget of $3 to $5 a day. I've seen sellers be successful with ads at $2 a day and at $25 to $50 a day. So there's definitely some experimenting that you would need to do to find out if your products are a good fit for Etsy ads. Whatever you decide to do that you think is best for your shop, you need to do it for a minimum of 30 days. So if you feel like your profit margins are small and your budget is really tight, you can set the lowest amount possible, which is $1 a day, and maintain that for at least 30 days. It's also better to spend your ad budget on just 2 to 5 of your bestseller items that already sell well organically, because it means the conversion is already good on these items. So putting it in front of more people is just going to help you convert more eyeballs since this product already sells well. And you will get better results from putting your bestsellers, a limited number, 2 to 5 of them, into Etsy ads as opposed to spreading your ad budget out across every single listing that's available in your shop. Now, if your Etsy shop is new, I don't actually recommend that you use Etsy ads. You should wait until you have a few sales and reviews. That way you're not spending money on ads with clicks to listings that are not proven to sell yet, and then you also don't have a lot of reviews, so you may be paying a lot more money for customers that are not quite sure they're ready to buy from you because your shop doesn't have reviews yet. If you don't know what's going to sell well organically, what your best sellers and popular items are, then paying for ads to items that you don't know what works yet on is kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall or just lighting dollar bills on fire. I personally would hold off on paying for any kind of Etsy ads until you have regular consistent sales on one or more of your Etsy products so that you know which products to send ad dollars to. Now, how do you actually know if your ads are working and if it's worth it for you to continue paying for ads? The best way to figure this out is to look at your profits. Basically, your profit from running ads is going to depend on if customers buy one or more of your items, your average order value, and your overall profit margins when you factor in your other things like your supplies and your labor. So to set an actual budget for your ads ongoing, once you're past the experimental stage, you have to figure out if you're happy with the profit from each sale you have after paying for ads. And if you are not happy with this, then you need to change how much you want to spend on advertising every single day. You also need to take into account how many more sales your shop can handle each month. So if you're only looking to make 1 or 2 more sales a month because that's all you have time for, maybe you're physically hand making the products, ads might not be the best option. But if you can handle a significant number of new product sales every single month, then ads might be a good strategy for you. There's a lot that goes into setting a budget and setting the right maximum limit for your Etsy ads budget every single day. You really just need to keep going, figure out what works best for you and your business, and carefully take a look at your profits. If you are running Etsy ads and you find that they are not successful, there are a few things that you could do. First, are you using all 10 available listing images and the 1 video that you get on those products? This is something I would max out right away with high quality images and video if you're not doing that already. Also, are the tags and title keywords relevant to the actual product? Are they in the title tags and description? Maybe you are accidentally spending your ads targeting the wrong customer, and so maybe you're getting clicks through, but they're not converting to sales because the wrong customer was brought in to begin with. So really making sure that your SEO is right can absolutely help you have a higher return on ad spend. Once you start looking at these kind of things about your Etsy listings, you may realize that there are more opportunities for improvement, and it might not have anything to do with the Etsy ads themselves. It might have to do with the quality of your listing and your listing not being fully optimized. So once you start making these changes, you may begin to see better results from running your Etsy ads. So the big question here is, are the ads actually worth it? One way to know this is to track the profit of each item sold and how long it takes to make that item. Now, there are a lot of great profit calculators available for you for free, and I'll link one from eRank below. But basically, you want to calculate the profit made through your sale and then subtract the cost of ads from the profit. You're going to divide the net profit by the number of hours it took you to make this item. And this is going to give you your hourly profit. And if your hourly profit is really low and you're not happy with it, it might be a good sign that ads are not really worth it to you. But if you are happy with your profit, which is also called the return on investment or ROI, then ads might be a great option for your shop. ROI is the amount that you've made after all expenses have been taken into account. This is a better indicator of whether or not Etsy ads are worth it to you than ROAS or ROAS, which is your return on ad spend. So ROI is a much more accurate way to figure out whether or not Etsy ads are actually working for you. So you definitely want to take the time to calculate this in your business and figure out whether or not those ads are the right decision for your shop. But let's get into some of the things that you can do that are not spending money on Etsy ads, but can help boost your traffic to your Etsy shop. Most successful sellers really take the time to fully research and optimize their listings using keywords and phrases. This is how sellers are able to make a lot of sales organically without spending the money on ads, is by rising to the top of the Etsy search result using Etsy SEO. Top sellers also pick the products with the single best chance of selling before optimizing or even creating the product. So they do research ahead of time to know what's going to sell before the products are created, instead of creating the product and then trying to figure out how to match them to successful keywords. Top Etsy sellers also continuously optimize their listings for better SEO, checking this every 60 to 90 days. This is an organic strategy to help you get more traffic on Etsy, and there are many 5- and 6-figure Etsy sellers out there who never pay for ads at all, including myself, who are able to make thousands of sales a year on Etsy solely using these organic SEO methods. If you want to learn how to do better SEO research, you want a keyword research tool, and we recommend eRank. I'm linking that below for you as the best place to get started. So my final thoughts on whether or not Etsy ads are actually worth it to you really depends on the goals for your shop and what your profit is. Etsy ads are really beneficial and inexpensive for some sellers with high profit margins and plenty of time and room to work with. But if you're a physical product seller with a small budget, a lower price, and not a huge profit margin, then Etsy ads are probably not the best use of your valuable time and money. It really depends on your shop and your goals to figure out whether or not Etsy ads are going to bring in more sales for you. Making sure to research all of this is the best thing that you could do to be successful on Etsy. And if you do want to learn more about how to grow your Etsy shop, or you want to learn more about making money with digital and printable products, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.